Howdy.
What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody?
Salute over there in present time reality.
Salutations.
Salutations.
This is episode 14, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Of the Terrible Reception podcast.
That's
Welcome.
amazing. We have 2 weeks worth of podcast shows
What do you mean?
for each day.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I got you.
I put it in a weird form to see if you would catch it.
I didn't. I dropped that thing.
The ball has been dropped.
It has been dropped. But it feels like we haven't done this in a while.
I know,
don't
right?
why.
That's kind of crazy.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But we've been so busy and stuff. But
All
let's
good
get
things.
the intros out the way. My name is Jay Suarez, the sexy little thing on your screen right there,
Oh, damn.
or the sexy voice in your ears currently buzzing through your earlobes.
And I am Parlay. Also, the cool cat behind the mic, and maybe visually to you, depending on your preference of man, style, and everything else. I don't know. I can't do that for myself.
What?
I don't know, like hype myself up like that. Just kidding.
I don't know what the hell you just said just now. But anyway,
Welcome, guys.
as a collective, we are Benatton.
Yes.
And we are One Eye Photography.
One Eye Photography.
And we are Benatton Apparel as well.
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining us once again. Thank you for coming along for this ride. We have, like you said, 2 weeks worth of material now.
Yeah. And it was kind of cool. Like I had like I don't know. You know when you like step back a couple times and you're just like, we kind of almost have our own radio station. Like I just always
Yeah.
think things like that are like really cool.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like, you think of these things, they become real, and then you get so caught up in it
Mhm.
that sometimes you forget like, hey, this is an accomplishment. This is, whatever. So I think that's dope. If you guys are out there and you guys are accomplishing great things but don't take time to pat yourself on the back, please take a moment to do so. That goes out to anybody. If you're a mother and you're doing a good job, if you're a father, if you're a mentor, if you're a good person in general, always make sure you take time to recognize your achievements. If not, you almost get like buried in things that you're not yet, and I think that's important for everybody.
Yes, sir. So shout out to you guys,
Mhm.
whatever you guys are doing, whether you're creative or not.
Yes.
We are here for you guys.
Here for you.
Yes. So let's see. Let's get the promo out of the way.
Okay.
Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that little bell notification for you to get that notification for when we upload any kinds of videos.
Yes.
Also, hit up Spotify if that's your route that you choose to listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not already, make sure you hit that follow button and share it with a friend.
Or get with the wave, be on Tidal.
Title has podcasts too?
I was going to say like just musically.
No, we're not there yet. Anyway, and the last but not least, Apple Podcasts. Be sure to follow us on there. Leave a review. Leave a rating. That way you can bump us up on the podcast list for more ears to listen to us.
We get some emails saying that we keep climbing the charts.
Do we?
Yes.
Whoa.
So I guess, I don't know if people...
Hopefully that doesn't... Well, it's probably going to erase itself once we jump ship and go
Gotcha.
to the other. But yeah, I think we mentioned it in a couple other episodes. But if you see the episodes disappear for a little bit, don't worry. We will be re-uploading them.
Mm-hmm.
The third-party distributor that we've been using gave me a rough time, and I got a little upset with them
Yes.
as far as storage space and how much they were charging for it. It was a ridiculous amount of money. So I did my research and found a different company. So shout out to Podbean.
Podbean.
We will be joining you guys soon as I can afford it.
We hear you guys are the number one
Yes, sir.
in podcast services.
Yeah, I think a lot of the big podcasts, I think Joe Rogan and them are on there too.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very fair with their prices. A unlimited storage space, unlimited bandwidth, which we need a lot of if we're
Yeah.
going to continue doing this.
I mean,
Which
those
we will.
companies are pretty smart too. I think we were talking about it today, where it's like
Mhm.
they capitalize knowing that
Mhm.
podcasts are not usually short in time,
Right.
so they can, you know, really charge you
Mhm.
crazy amounts sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah, but it's I don't know. But
It's a
then you lose a
service.
customer like me,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
us,
Mhm.
and then we jump ship and go to another one that will meet our needs
Exactly.
for a little less money. But yeah, so like I said, if you see the episodes disappear for a little bit, don't you worry. If you see our well, you won't see our views, but we will see our plays go
Yes.
down.
We
a
will
little bit.
reroute you back
Yeah, man.
home.
So you know, do your if you want to help us out, just you know, tell a friend to tell a friend. Word of mouth is the best kind of promotion. Because we all know that Instagram algorithm is caca.
100%.
But yeah, so let's intro was very drawn on, so let's go on to our first topic, which is a song we just dropped last night.
Boom.
Today we are recording this April 24th, Wednesday. So this would probably be dropping Tuesday of the following week. So we have released a new song entitled Drive.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even
Produced.
plan on doing this. This was
No.
produced by Mr.
Mike Banks.
Mike Banks, aka Corleone.
Corleone.
He's one of the youngsters that you know, we've been dabbling with. He's given us so much production
Mm-hmm.
in the last year or so
Mm-hmm.
that I felt never fit our style,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah. All like heat, but it wasn't just
Right.
something that complemented what we particularly do. But we
Right.
can't, you know, recently he sent me this joint,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, like this is definitely different for you, and it's different for us. So we approached the beat. It was one of those things where the melody really came easily to me, and I sent it off to Jay.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely messed with the vibe.
God damn, why is he so loud today?
Yeah, I know, right? He definitely messed with the vibe, and we started adding lyrics. We went with a very Jersey summer vibe,
Mm-hmm.
which you guys can hear, or just a summer vibe in general.
Amen.
But we, yeah,
We try to cater to the Jersey peeps that follow us. We made some references on there that
Yeah.
you relate to, and also anybody that's ever driven to the beach,
Yeah.
driven back home after a day at the beach.
Hip hop is
can
based
relate
off
to
of culture, so like, you know, if you put
Right.
little references from where you come from, I think that's what always makes it cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Drive is out there. Now we can make those drops with the titles and the Apple Musics and the Spotify's. What
Yes.
else? Deezer. I don't even know what that's
Deezer,
about, but we're
yeah.
on there too.
You guys can
And,
find us on Shazam. If you guys ever hear the song and maybe you like it, or
Not the superhero.
no, not the Shaq.
Nah, Shazam the superhero. Shazam the music app. You can play our well, I mean, they wouldn't find out unless they track the song and then it tracks it down back to us. But anyway, we are on Shazam. We
Mhm.
are also on Napster, which we found out weeks ago. I think we mentioned that it still exists. Napster's still around. We're
Yeah.
on there. They say we're on Pandora, but I've
That
never
never
seen us
happens.
on there. But
No.
any YouTube music, anywhere that you could listen to music, we're basically on there. So if you have a preferred music streaming service that we have not mentioned, please let us know.
Yes.
Because I found out the other day that we're on YouTube Music.
Because we want to cater to you.
Exactly. So, yeah, so Drive is out along with a bunch of other singles that we've put out.
Shout out to Sam for letting us use one of his photographs that he took that we felt represented the song very well and gave us
Mhm.
inspiration to use it. So
Yes, sir. That's Mr. Obscured Visuals. We'll put his name. We've mentioned him before, but we'll put his name in this video clip so
Yes.
you guys can follow him. He's a really dope photographer.
yeah, same thing from Mike. You know, we're gonna put it down here. So if you're an artist looking for production, we will send them your way.
Yes, sir. So, where do you want to start?
We had an interesting day today. Maybe want to give our listeners some insight of what we've been working on, all the interesting things that have been happening to us recently,
Yeah.
and just gonna go over those things. So
Yeah. So, excuse if our energy's a little off today. We had a long day today.
yes,
It wasn't even that long. It just the commute into the city is always stressful and tiring.
yeah,
And just riding the bus, because it's definitely better to take public trans into the city, especially around the
100%.
time that we went into. So we had a meeting today
Mm-hmm.
at 3:00 with a distribution company. And we didn't really want to tell a lot of people about it because, we don't want to jinx it or, get our hopes too high up or expectations too far out there. So, so we'll give you like a general idea. We had a meeting today at 3:00 with a distribution company, obviously to distribute our music to the masses.
Yes, which we had met at a really fun
Right.
billionaires
Mhm.
book signing party.
Right. So that was actually a pretty good segue. So I wanted to talk about that party real quick before we get into the
Okay.
the meeting. But this party, right?
Absolutely visually.
It was, yeah.
It was,
Whatever you were gonna say.
yeah, it was like somebody really thought it out from a visual
Mhm.
standpoint. It was like aesthetically pleasing to all
Mhm.
the senses. Basically, I had gotten there before Jay,
Mhm.
and I kind of like texted him like, I'm like, yo, this is about to be wild in a sense.
Mhm.
Are you close?
Mhm.
And
And it's funny because the whole day I was like so busy that I was like, damn, I'm gonna be late. Damn, I don't even know if I should make it out there. But I'm always that person that is like, if I don't show up, it's gonna be the greatest time ever.
yeah, and it was definitely one of those days. So we were at the Time Warner building in New York,
Mhm.
and basically it's this lounge called Ascent Lounge,
Ascent.
Ascent Ascent Lounge, and it was awesome because when you first got there was tons of champagne glasses,
Mhm.
and there was like high-end champagne, marble floors, very big open windows that outlook almost like Central Park. There was girls literally dressed in fresh flowers, kind of like these whole bouquet arrangement dresses, and they were serving drinks around.
Yeah.
There was a girl with a snake. There was literally like very
Or like huge champagne glasses.
yeah,
And there were females like
dancing in
rolling
them.
around in
Yeah.
there with like confetti
and
like
cash.
yeah, it was. We had
There
what
was
would
a
you call
money
those?
machine.
Money machine.
There was a
that,
money machine that blows money
money
up, and
in
you
the
have to
air.
grab it, like you guys
Yeah.
see on a game show sometimes. And then
It
there
was
was
fake money though.
yeah, and then there was also kind of like dancers that would like come down from the ceiling,
Yeah.
and there was top shelf liquor that was free all night.
Mm-hmm.
So, between that and great appetizers, oh, and napkin killer.
I was just about to mention that. The napkin killer.
Napkin
Do you have
killer.
a picture of yours?
Actually,
I'm gonna
it
show you
over
guys
there,
my
yeah.
photo. Does that look like me?
That's
Yes.
hilarious. Do you have mine?
You guys think that looks like me? I do not have yours.
Well, you know what? I have mine here.
Mhm.
But just to show the audience to get an idea, these were the girls. Here, show it in your camera so I don't do something weird in mine that I can't tell. But
these are the flower girls. I don't know if you guys can see that.
yeah, so it was very extravagant in the way that it was presented.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, this is a billionaire. He came
There's no dick pics in here, right?
No, hopefully not.
So this is your napkin.
Yes.
Oh. So do you guys think that looks like him?
Does that look like me?
We should put a vote, like put both pictures side by side and
be
put
like, who
a
looks
poll
like who?
which one looks more like the other.
Yeah,
like
right.
the person.
So, in turn, we have a really, I would say, good friend of ours in the industry, and his name is Arthur. We work with him in a lot of
Shout out to
different.
Arthur.
Yes, we work with him in a lot of different settings,
Mhm.
and he's been wanting to have us link up with this distribution company. Again, we're just
Mhm.
not saying names because we might be in the middle of something with them.
Mhm.
But yeah, we met one of the guys, and we asked to set up a sit down with him, and he was kind enough to give us that. So that's what today was about. And in all honesty, we were really excited because as musicians, especially when you're an independent artist. The best thing that you could get is distribution. You know, you don't really want a record deal nowadays unless you want people controlling everything and owning everything you have.
Yeah.
But this is like the best of the both worlds. So we can go into the story of how that came.
Yeah, I mean,
how
we
it
don't want
was.
to, like we said, we don't want to say too much because we are still in talks with them.
Yes.
But I think overall, taking the positives out of the meeting, even though it was a little confusing to us, taking the positives out of it, they did say that they're going to push our content towards the next group of people, I guess. So I'm guessing there's like a chain of command or a group of people that we have to pass through to see if we are marketable as far as a brand and musicians. And
you always have to be worth somebody's time because we live in a world, especially New York, where it's all money driven. It doesn't matter if you're talented or talentless. It's all about, can we make more of this situation? And that's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, man. So what we left off with was that they'll pass it on to, I guess, the content team. And the content team, to my assumption, because like I said, I don't know if we understood completely everything that was going on at that meeting, but we kind of just pitched ourselves, pitched the music, pitched the videos, us as a brand. The podcast as well came up, and they're gonna push us forward, and we're gonna hopefully hear from them next week, and possibly have another meeting with them. So it's kind of like I took it as like this is the initial interview.
Yeah, everybody was really nice there. Even like the secretary had given us like waters when we arrived. It was a very professional setting, very clean. And when we entered our meeting room, it was like glass windows, really cool vibe. Very nice guys as well. They complimented our work in certain areas. They said our visuals were very high quality. They also like enjoyed just our vibe, I guess, as personalities, and like that's what gets you far, I feel like, in this game. So
that gives you longevity at the end of the day.
Longevity.
Anybody can put out whatever that's being put out now, and you'll get your 15 minutes of fame, and then on to the next. So
speaking of fame, in a certain sense, I felt like it was interesting because again, we have our director friend Rock Davis. He's always working with he's entered a different level in his career where he's working closely with industry artists, and one of them was Asian Doll, and Asian Doll had recently linked up with Smoke Perp to create the song called Draco. And he had hit me up, and this was something I never expected, but Rock Davis hit me up and he said, can we put your mom in a video? And I said, what? And he decided to use my mom for his idea in this Smoke Perp video. And I think this was really hilarious because...
Is it his song or Asian Doll's song?
It's Asian Doll's song featuring Smoke Perp. It's called Draco. By the time you guys probably hear this podcast, I think it would have dropped the video. So go peep that. Again, it's called Draco. My mom and I were in the video. I'm actually an art dealer in the video, a French art dealer. She's acting as if she's like a buyer. She's dressed really to the T. She's looking real clean. But
don't give the spoiler.
Exactly. There we go. I had Jay to stop me.
You're about to give away the
whole
damn
thing
plot of the movie.
Speaking of Rock just texted me right now. Okay, I'm going to New York tomorrow, 1:30 to 7:30. Jesus.
Yo, this is so funny because you had mentioned this before we got on, but people have been pointing out that our cameras are so like high quality. The videos are so high quality that you can see the lint on these things. And now I'm very self-conscious about like the lint on here, so I'm like picking at it. And So yeah, I thought it was cool seeing your mom in that video.
Yeah, she's really my mom felt very honored, and she was paranoid at the same time, for sure. My mom has like a very professional job outside of this that I'm not even gonna mention, but yeah, she's honored, but kind of hyped at the same time. So just peep it. You can't, now she's a trap mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
She's walking around with a Draco.
yeah, she came in. She came in my room the other day. She's like, hey, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, just bought a brand new chopper. I was like, oh my God, Mom, please.
Just mow everybody down. But yeah, man, that's dope, man. Shout out to Rock
Yes.
for always reaching out to the crew whenever
crew.
he needs some. He said he needs somebody tomorrow.
Yeah, he hit me up for another Asian doll. I think it's a continuation
Mm-hmm.
from the last video. I don't know how he's gonna incorporate it, but
We shall see.
we shall
Stay
see.
tuned. Let me see, what topics do we have on here? So the meeting went well. I want to talk about streams
Yes.
really quick. I was trying to pull up numbers on here as far as so we use DistroKid as our distributor. So
Mhm.
there's a bunch of companies out there that will take your music and just distribute it everywhere to all the online stores. We went with DistroKid. Not sure why. I think we went between DistroKid and TuneCore, and at the time we felt like DistroKid was the best way to go for us.
I must say though, DistroKid
Mhm.
DistroKid is very convenient, very easy to upload,
Mhm.
and they give you a lot of options.
Yeah. There's a lot of stores on here. There's some stores on here that I don't even knew exist. But let me see if I could pull it up on the screen so you guys can see it for the YouTube viewership, I guess, for
Mhm.
lack of a better term. Not sure you can see that very well, but these are all the songs we have on here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the project that has 6 songs right in the middle here.
Yeah, Jay
And
wanted
then-
to do this for you guys and really give you insight. Like if you are an artist listening to our podcast, Jay just wants to give you insight on the reality of the situation as an artist, like putting your songs out for distribution
Mhm.
and how much you're really getting back, whether you're established or like in the beginning of things,
Mhm.
of like this is really how it goes. So
Mhm.
don't get caught up in the hype of what you think everybody else is doing. And
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if you guys can see this very well in the video, but all these lines are the songs that we've released. This right here is the project. So that's 6 songs right there.
Take your fingers off the screen. Pet peeve.
Mine are dry.
It doesn't matter.
And then all the other squares over here are the stores that we've been in or that we are currently in for each thing. Now, there's some that have more than others. I don't know what the qualifications are for those certain things and why we didn't hit certain stores in one or the other. But yeah, so I wanted to show you guys that real quick. And if we go into the stats of DistroKid, which is pretty dope, they
Cool.
break it down into Spotify, iTunes plus Amazon, and Apple Music. I'm not sure why any of the other ones aren't on here. I think there might be some partnership between like DistroKid and Spotify, but
They mainly probably pick them because they are probably the largest and most popular platforms.
right. So it's fairly simple to navigate this thing. Now the iTunes and Amazon are the purchases. So all time we've been on DistroKid, I would say about 2-3 years,
Yeah, just
and the
about.
units sold have been 122.
Yeah.
So 122 units sold, meaning songs or the actual project that we've put up. If you go on to the next one, that's Spotify. So obviously those are just streaming numbers. In the last 365 days, we've had over almost 3,000 streams, which is pretty dope.
Yep.
It's not Drake numbers, but
Yeah.
not groundbreaking numbers, but for artists as such as ourselves, we take every stream
As a gratitude in a
as
sense.
gratitude. I was gonna say for granted, but that's not what I wanted to say. The complete opposite of that. But yeah, so that's Spotify. The next one is Apple Music.
I was listening, not to cut you off, but I was listening to a YouTuber, right? And sometimes you guys got to take certain things into perspective because we live in a world of numbers, and something like we might reach like 130 to 170 views sometimes on our podcast, and then like we'll put a music video out, and if we're putting money behind it, it'll be like 18,000 people. So 3,000 people in a sense is a large number because the YouTuber was explaining, if you put 3,000 people in a venue or in a room, you would understand how many people that is. So whether these people are listening to your music from your area or worldwide, you have to understand that 3,000 people or listeners are a lot. And then out of those 3,000 people, you never know who's passing on your music or your art to somebody else. So, never doubt yourselves, or like never feel bad about your numbers. If you're like, oh, I have 75, like 75 people, invite 75 people to your house and realize like that's a large amount. Like, I know for the internet world, it might not seem like a lot and people might laugh at that. But at the same time, if you're not backpedaling, you're making progress. So just, take that into consideration.
Yes, sir. So let me see.
It's another trend.
So that was Apple Music, Spotify. I was looking at the Apple Music one. There's so many freaking things on here that's pretty fucking dope. So there's a lot of like bars and graphs and
usually like the ones that you see that are higher, it might be the day that we dropped the song. So like we're maybe getting a peak in like the plays from that day, and they taper off. Like, even if you listen to your favorite song, you might listen to it for the first week over and over and over. But after that,
I mean, everybody has their the thing is that there's so much music going out every day that, god damn you.
I know, right?
Jesus.
The revenge.
This thing doesn't like pass by any time during the day.
Yeah.
And it's not as loud.
No, this is how it is. It's like, I feel like when you're a photographer at a wedding or like an event, it's like the time that you always want to bring up your camera is when somebody wants to like move right in front of your camera. Never the parts like, the moment you decide to pick up your camera, or the moment you decide to start speaking.
Joe Schmo with the damn camera.
Yeah.
With the iPhone.
That's how it is.
But yeah, so it looks like Apple Music has more analytics.
Yeah.
As far as they break it down by streams by track, streams by albums, if we made it on any top 20 playlists, streams by type, offline streams, streams by source. Like, it'll tell you if we've been played on any desktops, as far as Macs or
PCs.
Windows PCs and stuff like that. Listening stats, it tells you how many times the songs were paused.
Okay.
17%. Manually changed 7% of the time. It's been skipped 7% of the time, and it's played through his entirety 53% of the time. That's pretty dope. And then here's streams by device. Obviously mobile devices are the popular thing.
Yes.
So it's 98.4% of it.
Wow.
So
these type of statistics, I would say, probably help you to, when you guys are doing your promotions or your marketing, you're knowing how to go about it through these statistics. And all these statistics are from day to day, month to month, week to week, and you guys get the percentages and the addition of all the plays quarterly, and that means that the music year is usually cut up into two parts: the first quarter, second quarter. It depends on how. There's a lot of people in the industry say there's 4 quarters and this and that, but usually it's like 2, and that's why people specifically put out albums at certain times, because there's certain deadlines in the music industry. If you're a really big artist and stuff like that, you're trying to put out an album when everybody else is, before holidays and stuff like that, because the industry shuts down for the holiday. If one of your friends are trying to make you feel bad that they have a meeting around Christmas, this is usually not happening. All throughout January, it's like the end of January, that's the only time when everybody starts coming back from family vacations and stuff, and that's the music biz type stuff.
It's kind of just trying to give people perspective as far as where we're at. So I don't know if anybody has the misconception that we're doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Though numbers wise, we're happy where we are, but of course we would want to be a lot, in a lot more places.
That's the humble side of us speaking. Deep down inside, we're just like,
we hate these numbers.
Yeah.
We definitely want them higher. But, like I said earlier, we appreciate all the streams and anybody helping out by playing the songs whenever they can. And just doing your part as far as, promoting us either on Instagram, Twitter, promoting the YouTube and stuff like that. So.
Jay and I were having a discussion where, we're trying to be as transparent with you guys as our listeners, because sometimes we feel that, we work very hard to give you guys quality, whether that's visually or sonically. And sometimes we feel like it's a great thing to have, but sometimes it doesn't work in our favor, because if we're talking about the smoke and mirrors game, people might think that you have it all together, that you have a big machine behind you, but that's just off a presentation. It's like you judging somebody that has like this whole extravagant outfit, top designers on, Gucci shoes, all this other stuff, because that's what people kind of base people off of. They say like your fashion represents you without you opening your mouth.
Right.
But that person might be like going through a struggle, like financially or something. And then you have the guy maybe in something that looks less labeled, trendy, or all that other stuff, and maybe he has more money. So in our situation, we take pride in our presentation and quality, but sometimes we feel that we don't have the adequate support that we need as independent artists, because we enter the zone of, oh yeah, they're probably signed, they probably have money, we see that they have nice mics or cameras. These are all things that, we've taken time to invest in, but it doesn't mean that our situation are great. Like Jay and I are still artists. We still have to pay bills and all this stuff. And today was an eye opener and a reality where it's like, we have in our hearts and our minds and all this stuff, like great quality music, great quality visuals. But when we have these meetings, it's a numbers game. It's always been like that. Do you guys have the most followers? Do you guys have the most plays? And when we show like these moderate numbers, that's not impressive to people. So we always tell you guys, in all honesty, this is the only way we can truly advance, is when you get support from your followers, your fans, your friends, your family. And that's why it's so important. So again, if you guys have that understanding, that concept, and you truly want to help us out, just keep spreading the word about our podcast, about our music, about our clothing, whatever aspect of what we do that you enjoy, just spread it, and we'll do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? One hand washes the other.
Exactly. So you pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
I'm sorry.
So there goes that. Yeah. I mean, I just want to piggyback off that and just stress the importance of people just playing our music and just telling anybody about us, and, just supporting anything as far as purchasing merch. Like we mentioned a couple episodes ago, we don't do crack, we don't do cocaine or anything. As far as, we take the money and we always reinvest it, whether it be $5 or $20 or $100.
And you guys get something in return. It's not like we're just asking you guys for free money.
Right.
If you pay for a t-shirt, you get a really cool t-shirt. You have a track that might make your day feel better, like you going to work, like you have some dope song you can listen to. We're not asking for anything for free. So.
And we're always willing to work for everything, and we're always appreciative. So if you give us a shout out, we try to give you a shout out right back. Because we want to show appreciation for you guys.
Yes.
Because you guys, especially the ones that are always pushing us and always promoting our stuff and always tagging us and always like posting us on their stories or on their timelines. You don't have to do that, but you do. And we really appreciate that. And, something as small as that can go a very, very, very long way for us. You know what I mean? So,
because you might have somebody following you that you don't even know. And if like reposting something is just another or a different way of opportunity where you might not even be aware of your network. And even if it doesn't work for you, it might work for somebody else that you know.
Right.
And I think that's the most important and the most expansive way of growing each other's businesses in 2019. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That brings me to that video that I saw the other day. I think you probably saw it, the dick riding video. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
Where this guy's saying that there's no such thing as dick riding your friends.
Oh yeah. No, I saw that.
So for anybody that's not understanding, we're not actually physically talking about riding a penis.
Because I posted an excerpt from that video, that day after, and somebody like literally asked in my comments, like they couldn't tell. They're like, "Are you talking about metaphorically or like physically? Because physically could be like actually like relaxing." And I'm like, "Are you kidding?"
Was it a female?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Hey, no shade on the guys that like doing that too, but it wouldn't be relaxing for me.
Nah.
But yeah. So that brings me to that topic, because it's like, it doesn't take much to support your friend.
No.
And I don't know what it is about, and I'm not saying this to anybody in particular, none of my friends or any of your friends or whatever, but it doesn't take much for somebody to just like post something on your, if you don't want to post it on your timeline, I get it. Aesthetically, you want your page a certain way, whatever. But there's the IG story, which gets more attention anyway. Just give us a shout out. Not asking for much. If you don't like our music, push it to somebody that may like it. If you don't like the podcast, push it to somebody that may like it. Or you must be crazy because you've been through 14 episodes of these. And if it takes you this long to figure out if you like something or not, then thank you for sticking with it. But
and this is not us wanting to force something that doesn't have appeal. It's like we get a lot of feedback on how people enjoy our podcast, how people enjoy our chemistry, how people enjoy the topics and the conversations we're having, to give you guys a different perspective. So we're just trying to take that response and flip it and trying to expand.
And it's not even just talking about us either. It's talking about anybody with a small business, because I feel like Instagram and Facebook has been building towards forcing people to use their ads in order to reach their own followers. You know what I'm saying? Hate that stupid algorithm. It's like you built up this huge following of, let's say for us, for example, we have over 11,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
But we post something and maybe it'll show to like 400 people. And I find that very unfair for anybody that's trying to start a small business.
Yeah.
Because one, you would have to come out of pocket to pay for these ad spaces or sponsored posts, so that you could even get it in front of your own followers, which I find stupid ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like you achieve something. I feel it's like anything like this in life. It's like you achieve a good credit score, all these other things. And then it's like, well, you're going to have to pay somehow, because there's going to be a moment where that achievement becomes null and void. So that's the same thing where it's like, oh, you've achieved 11,000 followers, but at the end of the day, you want to get somewhere further. We are a business. We need to see your wallet. That's basically what it comes down to.
Which I get it.
Yeah.
Everything's a business. Everything's about money. But god damn, bro, like,
I know.
Post the shit chronologically. Put the shit back.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to. Okay, I get it. Polls are cool, whatever. But come on.
Yeah.
We asked for something so simple. But anyway, just to wrap that idea up, is just support your friends. Whether they have a photo booth business, whether they have a blog or a page or something like that. It doesn't take.
If your friend's a chef, if your friend's growing their own weed farm, if your friend's a politician, whatever somebody decided to get into.
They're a damn masseuse. Shout them out. Make them the dopest masseuse on the planet.
Yeah. Don't go to Massage Envy. Send more clients to your friend.
Your masseuse friend.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me, man. Anyway, but we like supporting other people. That's why we have the gallery.
Yeah.
We have the gallery. I mean, we have our the followers that watch our, why do I call them little followers? But we have our followers that follow us consistently and always support us. So, whether you get 1 or 2 new followers, that's more than what you had yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, you guys have to realize
them,
when it comes to small business, it can become big business because you're actually keeping all your money amongst your circle and your community.
Amen. So actually, now that you mentioned that, a really dope thing that a friend of mine did was really, really cool was she booked me for a gig while I'll be at a wedding. So she's the cousin of a groom that I'm going to attend his wedding. Shout out to Earl. He listens on Spotify.
Hey.
But I wanted to thank them for, trusting us and trusting me, since I'll be on the trip, to shoot their engagement photos.
Nice.
And one thing that stuck out to me from the conversation I had with her was she said that she was looking for a photographer out there. She contacted somebody. They gave her the numbers and what they get. And she said that she would rather pay or keep the money in the family.
Yeah.
So that mentality is the type of mentality that you should have.
Yeah.
So if your friend owns a bodega, don't go to Quick Check to get your sandwiches. You know what I mean? Or like we mentioned earlier, if your friend is a masseuse, don't go to Massage Envy, go to your friend, or push people to go to your friend, because you never know how far that person can get with their small business. You know,
if they're good at what they do, there's no reason why they shouldn't have that exposure.
Amen.
So yeah, with that said, like a lot of great things have been happening to us, outside of the main struggles that happen every day. I've been shooting a lot of music videos this year, and we've been doing a lot of weddings. And, we've had a lot more sit downs with couples inquiring about our weddings, which is a great thing. That means we're always headed in a great direction. People are spreading the word. And
whether we get booked or not, at least we're sitting in front of a bunch of people.
Exactly.
What I mean? So,
and I think
we appreciate anybody that's referred us.
Like amazing things happen, and I feel like careers take off in so many different ways, fashions, and manners that you don't expect it sometimes. Like the other day, because I shot music videos for a couple of artists and friends that I know of, a comedian hit me up the other day, and they said, "Are you interested in going to Bali, Indonesia with me to do some documentary footage?" And I said, "Are you kidding?" So it's one of those situations where Jay's going to Portugal and Ibiza, and I'm going to Bali in a couple of weeks to follow this comedian to create content for them. So, it's just funny how life works in the entertainment industry. One week you're having meetings and you're traveling the world, and the next one you kind of feel what's a good word? Disgruntled or ignored. You feel like you're not on top of the world. Like we have our ups and downs. I see like some of our friends or colleagues, like they'll get like this great shoot. Like just for an example or something funny, like, you'll have friends that, have been working hard for a long time and they start shooting Jay-Z and you're like, oh, damn, they got a Jay-Z gig. I'm actually proud of them, but I should be doing better. And then they have their low where they might not be shooting for a couple months after that Jay-Z gig. And now they see you and you're shooting Beyonce, and they're like, just be competitive in a healthy sense. Always strive to be better as an individual through each other. It's kind of like going to the gym with your friend. If you guys are benching, you're not, if your friend needs somebody to, be their safety, you're not going to let the weights fall on them. And you shouldn't do that as businesses. You shouldn't be there to see people fail. You should be there to help them push to be better and stronger through their businesses. So support your friends. Have a healthy competition where you guys are getting better and achieving that way, but don't like badmouth the other people just because they are getting gigs that you might have wanted, or you're all in the same boat.
Because you never know when you're gonna need them. Because it's happened to us recently where we've accidentally either double booked ourselves, or somebody contacts us for work, and unfortunately we're already booked for that particular day. So we reach out to our close friends and people that we trust to fill in that void that may be left there.
Because even if you have your own business, your friend has their own business, and if you can pass on the work because you trust and believe in their business and like their work and quality and value, I think that's the greatest thing. That's the greatest backup to have.
Yes, sir. So yeah, man. So you had mentioned earlier, I think we're done with this topic, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we could go on for days and days.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's enough for to settle in with others.
Yeah, to wrap it up, just support your friends, man. Just give them a little shout out on your Instagram stories if the timeline is too much for you. But they work hard. Because I know we do. I don't know anybody that works as hard as we do. And any little action is appreciated. So So we'll wrap that up, and we'll go on to the next topic. You had mentioned earlier something about a stripper story
Oh
that I
yeah,
want to be
yeah.
interested in.
No, it's funny. I was on I don't know. I think it was D. Ray Davis. Like I saw like he had something about a stripper story, and it like triggered one of mine for when I first went to a strip club, first strip club experience, and I thought it was funny. You know, I like to share my stories with you guys.
Mhm.
I know the
People
random.
enjoy your story. So.
So I was with GT and Dan Eng. I'm putting you guys on blast. I think I was also with Feldhammer, Daniel Feldhammer. I was with the crew.
Who the hell is Daniel?
Daniel. So I was with the crew. And they decided, okay, we're gonna go to the strip club. So I was like, all right, cool. I've never been to a strip club. As a young man, you wanna see what it's about. You know, sex sells. So we go down, and I think it's a club called Delilah's Den, something like that. I think it was in South Jersey, right?
Sounds fancy.
Yeah, no, it sounds fancy, but it was far from it. So we get there. There was a bouncer. He ID checks us. You know, your heart races the first time. It's like if you're smoking weed for the first time, or you're drinking. You know, if you're underage, or you know, again, it's your first time experience. You have a little bit of adrenaline rush. So I'm sitting there. I'm watching these strippers on stage, and the most non-attractive and unsexual type of vibe comes because I see two strippers on stage, and mind you, they're gorgeous, beautiful bodies, everything else. They're yawning. So I'm like, wow, like these strippers are yawning. Like there's nothing sexy about that. They look like they're like having the worst time of their lives.
I'm sure there's a fetish for that.
There probably
If
is
you go
a
on
fetish for that.
Pornhub and you look up yawning, I'm sure something
Right?
will
Somebody's
pop up.
like, but maybe they're like
getting
watching
off.
somebody's mouth like open wide or
It's like,
something.
oh my god.
So I'm like, okay, this is like okay experience for my first, you know, strip club type of ordeal.
Wait, you thought that was okay?
I thought it was okay because like, you know, like
Before or after the stripper started yawning?
no, I was like, okay, it's gonna be cool, but then I saw them yawning. I'm
Oh,
like, is
okay.
this part?
Further back,
Is this
okay.
part of the deal? So
Is this part of the
my
deal?
friend Dan says, "Hey, Rich, you want a lap dance?" And I said, "You know what? Let's go for it." So he's like, "I bought you a lap dance." I'm like, "I appreciate it." So Dan's like, he points to this back room, right? And there's this stripper. She's like, you know, sometimes you expect like a stripper to be super thick or whatever. She was like fit. She was like kind of petite. And
Petite biscuit.
petite but sweet. And she like,
It's a petite biscuit.
oh, petite biscuit. Okay. But I was like, you know, I was there in the back room, and
The back room.
she starts grinding on me.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? As a guy, your only reaction is, you know, you start getting a little swollen. So
If you want to call it.
if you want to call it that, I'm just trying to be a little discreet. You never know who's watching. So I kind of like, I'm a very nerdy or corny person at times. So I said, you know, to her, I was like, oh, I should have wore sweatpants. And then she turned around. She's like, we're usually against that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry then. I'll stick to my jeans. So
No,
then
you're gonna rip off your jeans. No, I got some sweatpants under here.
So I think I was like 20, 21, 22. I was within that age bracket, right? So I'm like, I said, are we allowed to touch you? Like, how does this go? She's like, only if I want you to touch me. And I said, cool. And she was stern, but she was still nice. She's like, mate, like I'm having my first experience. She probably doesn't realize that. So she's like, all right, touch my ass.
I think she got that when you were like, damn, I should have worn my sweatpants.
Exactly.
This is his first time.
So-
Can we touch you? No, sir.
So in my awkward fashion, I was like, oh my God, your ass is so soft.
This guy.
And she was just like, she's like, yeah, actually lotion 9 times a day. And I said, wow, that's a lot of dedication.
To
So-
sit there and lotion your ass 9 times a day. That
So-
takes a lot of dedication.
I'm in this back room, but I still have like a peek through of the curtains, seeing my friends watch the girls on the stage.
Mhm.
So I see one girl, and she's got like, she's more of a big girl, right? So this big girl kind of straddles GT,
Oh.
right? And he has his hat, and my friend has this thing with his hat, like don't mess with his hat. So I literally see her lift her right titty, slap him in the face, take his hat, wear it, and walk away.
Whoa.
He stood up like the Hulk.
Intense.
He stood up like the Hulk and tried to get his hat back, but couldn't.
So he never got the hat back.
So he never got the hat back. So that was like
he always wore hats. I think he still does, right?
Yeah, he always wears hats. So that was like my first experience. And then second time around, I wear glasses. It's obvious. Somebody's like, hey, we're going to go somewhere for lunch. It's a surprise. So I said, okay. And that day I didn't have my glasses. So I'm in a strip club squinting with like a 6-piece of chicken wings in front of me where like some girl is like twerking, but all of it is a blur. And it's dark in there, so forget about it. It's not happening. It was a waste of that person's money.
All you see is like the ring light.
That was it. That was
so funny.
But that was my first strip club experience. And I thought like, okay, strip club's not for me. Okay. Like I'm going to be the last rapper you see in a strip club unless I know somebody that works there or somebody invites me out, because my experience, I was like, first, you're paying for blue balls. 2, I can never like not get that out of my head that strippers are yawning. And 3rd, I was just like, you know what? This is not my place to ask questions.
That's not stupid questions like that.
I probably wouldn't do that at this age, but I was still young and very
just
curious.
Picture you like tapping her shoulder, like, "Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me.
Can I touch you?"
Yeah, it was. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what. Sometimes you're there, you're just standing there. You're like, okay, you're this random chick. Like, sure, you can go to the club and some girls might grind on you, but this was a whole different like. Are we supposed to be doing something?
Nah, son.
So it's
take
funny.
this dance.
Just take this dance.
So, I guess to go off of that too, I've only had maybe 2, max 3 strip club experiences.
Wildest experience. Let's go.
What?
Most wild experience. Let's go.
None of them are wild.
No,
at all. That's why I don't go to strip clubs.
Gotcha.
The first one was like when I was like,
oh, how about check this out.
My phone just landed.
Check
on my
this out.
penis.
I'm gonna hit you with a cool question. If Jay Suarez had to create a strip club, what would it entail? Like, what would make your strip club different and better than the rest of the strip clubs in the U.S. of A?
Well, I can't say that because I've only been to 2.
Well, based off of that experience, what would you do to improve your strip club from your experience?
Get more enthusiastic strippers.
So
see, that's what I'm saying.
Is this a common thing? Is this?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I've only been to 2.
Listen, if you're a stripper and you're listening to the Terrible Reception podcast, can you tell us, are you unenthusiastic or unmotivated to go to your job that you end up yawning? Or what was your experience?
I went when I was about 22.
Okay.
It was for my birthday. I invited a few friends or whatever. And then I sat at the, I guess would be the bar area.
The bar, okay.
Away from the bar area. The bar area more like the girls would be dancing on this platform and then you're just like chilling
towards
like
the bottom.
Right here, right?
It's like a hibachi station.
Kind of. Yeah. That's actually the best way to explain it.
Sexual hibachi.
Yeah. With 2 poles or whatever.
Maybe that should be the name of the strip club that we create. Sexual hibachi.
I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Get served.
Sauce it up. So my experience wasn't pleasant. I just don't like being harassed by people like, yo, you need to dance. What's up? You want to dance? I'm like, nah, man, just let me chill.
You said, man?
Nah, man.
What kind of strip club was you?
Nah, man. As a generalized, I guess, whatever. It's 2019. I guess I shouldn't have done that. But what was I saying? So I don't like the aggression.
Yeah.
You can't make eye contact with any of them because then they'll go straight to you like, hey, you want to dance? Want to go to the back? Whatever.
Why do they keep sounding like that?
I don't know. That's the voice I used to imitate people.
It sounds like, hey, my name Big Bertha. You want to dance? And you're just like, oh.
So I was sitting in the hibachi station and
I imagine you now eating teriyaki while seeing some twerk action.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know. I hear that food at strip clubs are actually pretty good from what I hear.
Yeah.
But anyway, sitting at the hibachi station, this one girl comes up to me and somebody else that I was there with. I forget who it was, but my first time there, so I have my little singles in my hand, like I'm ready.
Okay. You popping.
So this girl's just like slowly walking up, probably like the same vibes that you got with the yawning strippers.
Okay.
And this one was just like puts her boobies out,
Mm.
does one of these,
Mm.
and I'm like,
Expects you to pay $50.
right.
Okay.
Like, I mean, can you like? I literally asked her. I was like, hey, can you do something like? I don't know if that's proper stripper etiquette.
You know what gets me? It's kind of like East Coast homeless bums, and I hate to say it like that, but it's like East Coast homeless bums in the sense that, like, you know why they're homeless, because they didn't want to work hard, versus like West Coast bums or homeless people. They work for the money that they're asking from you. Like, they would tell a joke to make your day. They would compliment you.
Mm-hmm.
They would do something to entertain you.
Yeah.
To work for their money.
Mm-hmm.
Versus East Coast, it's like, just give me it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's this East Coast entitlement
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, just give me money.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, what did you do though?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing for you strippers.
I don't know if we're knowledgeable enough to talk about this.
No, we're not.
So,
I'm just saying we've probably had really bad experiences. Mm-hmm. So if you guys want to tell us what a good strip club is, we will revisit and have another discussion on the podcast of how this experience might have been better than the others, because I don't know, man.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's also because I'm like, we're struggling artists.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the strippers should pay us to show up.
That would be nice.
Throw some money at me, please. I need it. I'm poor.
How do you guys feel about strip clubs? Do you feel like it's degrading to women, or they put themselves in that position? Is that the only thing they can do? Like, they get paid well. Does it compensate for all the struggle?
I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in celebration of Avengers Endgame dropping in a few days.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that. You actually got me a ticket. I like that.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
I take scolding very nicely.
Scolding?
Yeah.
Oh.
I went to watch a movie once. You were like, I like that kind of movie. Why don't you ever invite me? I'm like, well, damn, bro.
That's like me keeping my keto cookies away from you and saying, Jay, you can't have one.
That's different. I didn't.
It's different.
I didn't bake the movie. You baked those cookies. That would be kind of an asshole move for me to take the cookies you baked. But I wanted to express some thoughts.
Okay.
About Sunday night.
Okay.
And I've expressed this on my social media accounts.
Okay.
But if you catch me Monday, and you see me crying, just hold me.
It's because you had too much butter in your popcorn.
No, just hold me.
Okay.
Don't ask no questions. Just grab my head, put it to your shoulder, and I'll probably let out a very ugly sob.
Damn, that's quite like,
and wet your shirt.
That's quite awkward.
Yes.
Because I'm just like, this is not usually how you act.
Yeah.
But okay.
So
I got you.
I say that because I got tickets for Sunday night.
Okay.
And I'm crossing my fingers that by the next time we record another podcast, that I haven't physically assaulted somebody for ruining a movie for me that's built up over 10 years.
My man Tony Stark, I think, is going to hold the situation down.
Prediction. Who do you think is going to die?
Who's going to die?
Anybody.
To be honest, well, I definitely think Ant-Man's coming back. They gave us that preview at the end of Ant-Man and Wasp.
Well, everybody's coming back, I think.
Everybody's coming back. I get you. But I feel like...
Who's going to die?
You know who's the symbol? You know what? They're going to have it symbolic, right? It's definitely got to be someone like Captain America, where they all look up to, that like he's a symbol of America. He's the leader. He's always been positive. So I feel like it's either Captain America or, to be honest, Black Panther.
Black Panther? They announced Black Panther?
No. Well, yeah, no.
Doctor Strange is not going anywhere. They announced Doctor Strange.
I mean, it's either Stark or Captain America, but like Stark, I feel like is going to be a solution, but he might have to sacrifice himself a second time just to,
I have a theory that I heard.
Okay.
That I'm going to pitch to you and you see if it's valid or not.
Gotcha.
So the rumor is that there's going to be some kind of time travel.
Well, sure. Between Doctor Strange and what, in a sense, Ant-Man could do, because Ant-Man, you have to realize, even though outside of his superpowers, he's entered the same realm that Wasp's mother entered, where she can heal people and do things with time and energy.
So there's going to be some kind of time travel, right?
Okay.
So I read a theory somewhere that said that they are going back in time.
Who or how?
to the remaining Avengers, the ones
Okay.
that didn't get dusted.
Gotcha.
They're gonna go back in time to try to get the stones before Thanos gets it, right?
Okay.
So the theory is that somehow Steve Rogers, Mr. Captain America, is going to stay behind as some kind of sacrifice, and he's going to stay back in his time before he was frozen.
Okay.
And that's how he's going to, quote unquote, die.
Gotcha.
My prediction is if they really want to go out with a bang, somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
If anybody, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Captain America. Pass the torch to
Like I
somebody
said,
else.
it's symbolic.
And I
He
think-
is known as the head of the Avengers.
And I think if they want to hit us hard, definitely go with that. Hit us harder, at least for me, it would be Tony. But I think Tony's going to retire.
Yeah. I think Tony's going to do his thing
after Captain America
because
dies.
Tony is the most insightful because he has been throughout all the movies. Like he saw all this coming. It's just everybody was kind of like, nah, like we'll be all right. And even if we do, you know, we'll die, blah, blah, blah. But Tony he's got a lot of brains. Strange has the manipulation out of everybody.
Well, Strange got dusted, so.
Yeah, I know. But like, I feel like somehow, even if he's dusted, he's going to work some magic within the equation that people, I see.
So your
that.
prediction is Captain America's going to get it.
Captain America's going to get it. He's going to be the sacrifice. The rest are like, you know, Spider-Man and everybody else. It's like,
I feel everybody's coming back because.
Yeah, but I'm saying certain people are going to be more useful against Thanos due to their superpowers or their intelligence rather than other people. So like I feel like big game players are Stark, are Ant-Man, and our Doctor Strange. Like those are my three.
So Ant-Man's gonna shrink.
It's
go
gonna
into Thanos' ass, and then
he's gonna do it in a different way where I don't know if it's going to be the height or size manipulation as much as it is through what do you call it, the micro realm,
the quantum realm.
Yeah. So like I feel like
I think that's going to be his big contribution. Yeah. And one thing that I was reading about that I'm very excited about is that Hawkeye is going to have a big piece in this because I'm a big fan of Hawkeye, the character. And I hear they're working on a Netflix series for Hawkeye, which I'm very excited about because I feel like he's super underrated. And I didn't appreciate the insults that he was getting at the party that we were at the other day.
I heard that. We're like, pew, pew.
The fuck that, man. He's actually one of the funniest ones in the animated series. So so I'm excited about that. And so once I finish that, so the movie is at 6:00. They say the runtime is about 3 hours and like 58 seconds or something.
That's amazing.
So we'll be out there till like 9ish.
Okay.
And then immediately after that, I'm going to either my house or Samuel's house to watch Game of Thrones.
Nice.
And I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but this is the final season. There's only 6 episodes. And the episode that they showed last week tied in a lot of loose ends, tied in a lot of things came full circle.
Okay.
As far as like character development, because a lot of characters either knew each other and then separated and then finally came back together, or they beefed and now they have to come together to fight a common enemy.
See, unfortunately, like I feel like Game of Thrones is something I would definitely be into. I just didn't catch on when it first started. It's just like anything else. I've never watched episodes of The Walking Dead. There's only certain things I've caught on to, but this is something I'm actually interested in catching up on.
You should.
Yeah. So
I didn't start it from the beginning. I actually started like when it was on season 4.
Okay.
So I caught up to season 4 right before season 5 started.
Okay.
I finished the last episode of season 4.
Nice.
So now this episode on Sunday is supposed to go down.
Okay.
Because what they call the White Walkers are like the undead army of people that have died and risen or whatever. So he has this huge army of people that are coming over to this one spot and just going to kill everyone. So the predictions are that there's going to be a lot of people that are dying. A lot of huge characters are dying on Sunday.
Always sounds like a medieval, sum up. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, everybody's going to
it's
die
an-
of some plague or some type of apocalypse.
It's going to be insane because they say that it's supposed to be the longest fight scene ever filmed in history.
What?
Yes.
In history.
Film, TV, anything. It's the
Interesting.
longest fight scene ever recorded on
Wow.
film. So I'm very excited about that. Now, the
Interesting.
episode, I think, is about an hour and some change.
Okay.
So once the episode's over, there's still 3 more episodes. So I'm wondering how they're going to finish this up. So
Nice.
there are predictions of who may die. And there was a lot of things in last week's episode that I was like, damn, they're setting up for this guy to die.
That's crazy.
And there's a lot of people's favorite characters too. And one thing that Game of Thrones is known for is just like not giving a damn about anybody's feelings.
Wow.
And they hit you, not like the Marvel universe. It's
Yeah.
oh, they should have just hit us harder. But this still kill your favorite character, no problem.
That's
Season
crazy.
1, like one of the biggest the main character dies.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's a little spoiler for you. I'm sorry, but
That's cool. That's cool.
but yeah, so going to see Avengers. Hopefully nobody spoils anything because I'm gonna throw hands. I'm not a violent man, but if
No,
you
no.
spoil this for me, social media spoils it for me, I'm throwing hands.
When Star Wars comes around and like, I mean, the new Star Wars trailer gave me like chills. Like for me, just as a fan, I look forward to like those are my Christmas presents where I'm like, okay, it's dropping in December. I can't wait to see this. But that's how it is. Like if there's people that start speaking on it, like in the first day of it coming out, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah, and such dies, and I hate that.
I don't get what people like. People get off on that
Yes,
shit.
100%. I was gonna say
annoying.
people take pride in like ruining it for others.
So annoying, man.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. Like some people be like, "Oh, that movie was ass," but it's like, no, that's just like your perception of how the movie was. Like, I never take anybody's.
Yeah, you got to go in there.
You got to watch
see
it.
it for yourself.
Yep.
So I'm gonna watch Endgame 6:00, and right after that, watching Game of Thrones. I'm gonna be in my feels. Don't talk to me on Monday unless you want to give me a hug and console me. If anybody knows a good therapist, let me know because I'll probably need him on Monday.
It's too much. It's too much pop culture hitting you out.
Yo, way too much. Because it's like years and years and years of build up for both things.
Yeah.
It's like the Marvel universe. What, 12 years of build up? 11, 12 years of build up for this moment.
I would say so. Yeah, we started with Iron Man, and which I was really happy.
Which
I
was like 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
and then it wraps up with this, and then they start off with.
And unfortunately, what did they say about Stan Lee? It's like the last 2 or 3 movies are like his last appearances.
This is his last cameo.
Yeah, and it's actually called Endgame. Wow.
Yeah, man,
that's crazy. But it's epic. I think he deserves that as a writer, as a creator of all this.
It was like the perfect movie for him to be the last one. So
shout out to Stan Lee.
Shout out to Stan Lee.
Rest in peace.
Power.
Rest in power.
And then Game of Thrones is on season 8 now. So there's been over 8 years, maybe 9 years, because they took a break last year.
As an old man, my goals are to be as cool as Stan Lee, glasses included.
Yeah, you are wearing similar glasses.
And I'm gonna maybe I'll just cut all this off, just have the mustache.
And you have to have the slick back.
Exactly. I'm prepared. I know some people may not think about it, but I think about my stages of adulthood of how I'm going to groom myself to be cool and appropriate at each one without having dad vibes. I'm going to be like Beckham as a dad, right? And then I'm going to be what's his name that dances on IG with the girls?
Gianluca.
I'm going to be like Gianluca in my 60s, right? And then I'm going to be like Stanley in my 70s.
Damn, that's like a big drop off of Gianluca.
Yeah, but I'm saying I get to chill at that point. I get to be funny. I get to be that guy, that old guy that makes people laugh. They're like, you know what? You're a nice old man.
Corduroy pants and suspenders.
And then I want to be I don't know.
Dead.
Maybe 80s, 90s, I'll be like Dr. Sebi in his last years where I'm healthy. I can go about places, but then somebody kills me.
I was just going to jump on that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to.
Before me.
So,
yeah, man, big weekend. Big weekend. So I'm going to try to stay off of social media the best I can this weekend because I know I'm going to stumble across something and it's going to piss me off. And I'm going to blame myself for being on there in the first place.
In all honesty, no shades of social media, you won't be missing out.
No. No. I'm gonna try to stay off of that. I'm gonna start playing like games or something on my phone.
Yeah, what happened?
To
Like
keep me
I thought
distracted.
I thought to myself, I said, if I'm not on my phone right now, what would I be doing? And I think it's because we lose touch. Like we start off, they kind of get us, right? We start off like this as kids. We're playing video games all the time. And then they just replaced it with the cell phone and went like this.
Mm.
So now this stimulates us from like childhood
Mhm.
in like your head, but
Mhm.
it's like you just feel more adult about it. You're like, oh, I'm on social media.
Mhm.
When deep down, you want to pick up a controller and you want to play some Smash Brothers.
I think it's more complicated than that
It
because I feel
definitely
like
is.
there's so much things you can do on your phone that it's like impossible for you to like not use it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you can make phone calls, send text messages, stay connected with people,
Exactly.
social media, play games, send emails, measure things.
Mhm.
You can measure things now with your damn phone.
100%.
Record podcasts. You can do so much with your phone that it's impossible for you not have one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. Let me see if we have any other topics. What are your thoughts about? I've been hearing this on other podcasts that I listen to. It's been a interesting topic.
I was going to segue from what you said that you were going to ask me before.
What's that?
You were asking me when you were talking about Avengers, if I had to create a team,
Yes.
what team would I build to defeat Thanos?
Okay, so my question for you, and I wanted to give that to you a couple of days ago while I looked this other topic up, but it was inspired by this other podcast that I listened to, and they talked about the Malice in the Palace. And I was trying to explain to you the Malice in the Palace, since you don't watch basketball, is the situation that happened in the NBA where players and the audience kind of jumped on each other.
Oh, really?
Things got heated. A couple players jumped into the stands.
Wow.
A couple people jumped from the stands onto the court, got demolished, and all hell broke loose. It was the craziest situation I've ever seen in sports.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, on the basketball court.
On the basketball court.
So that inspired me. Well, the podcast that I was listening to asked what would be their team of current basketball players if something like that were to happen to defeat the fans.
Gotcha.
So this inspired me to ask you this question, like if the aliens were to come down to Earth and they are not friendly, who would you recruit to defeat the aliens?
Gotcha. So once you asked me that question, I did my research.
And before you jump in, I've asked this question before, and I was kind of like just trying to modify it to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Because obviously the first people that would be like, oh my God, I'll get Goku and Vegeta and Superman and
Juggernaut.
Batman and Juggernaut and my team is undefeated. So I wanted to make it a little more interesting. So I wanted you to name a person or thing or whatever it is that you pick or a character. Give me the reason why they're a part of your team.
Okay. So my first choice was actor and actually martial artist Michael J. or Ja White, if you guys are familiar.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? So
he was Spawn.
He was Spawn.
Yeah.
So I would choose him, one, because he's an actor. So like if he has to distract Thanos, he's really good at it, but he can also whoop ass. And he's really good at it. Like I think he's highly respected by like the Asian community and the martial arts community.
Yeah.
So like
he was in this movie years ago. It was a martial arts movie.
Yeah.
Where he was like the main character and he was like
busting
ass.
everybo's ass.
Yeah.
So for me, he's like a real life superhero. Like he's a real life like built to be a superhero. You know what I'm saying?
So we'll put a picture of him up. So want to go back and forth, or you want to do your?
I'm just gonna go through.
Okay.
Because I have it on my mind of why. So my next choice, and you might be surprised, but I said, Elon Musk. And I chose Elon Musk because he's like the Tony Stark of the team. Like he's the brains. He can create fire torches. He's actually pretty, smart about like the universe and stuff like that. So if he has to create ships or anything for the team, you have Elon Musk.
So he's the guy on the computer.
Yeah. So he's the Tony Stark of my team. And then the strongest man, like who's the Hulk on my team,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's literally, for 2019, he's from Iceland. He's the strongest man. His name is Hopfor Julius Bajansson.
I know
Correct.
exactly who you're talking
Okay,
about.
so I'm chose him because he's going to be able to like move mountains and at least like grab Thanos' leg and
Mhm.
like give this guy a run for his money.
Right.
So, and then we're gonna go back
Mhm.
to the East Coast, go up north, and I'm gonna get Georges St. Pierre because he's one of the best MMA fighters. That whether you're playing him in the video game or wherever, like he's busting some ass.
So they call him GSP or GSP or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
So like he's really badass, like because he's a great fighter, and he's been like undefeated. So.
Mhm.
And last but not least, again, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'm a big fan of Muay Thai.
Mhm.
So I'm going to choose Sanchai Sor Kingstar, which is the best Muay Thai fighter to date. And I would just have him because when you're using elbows and knees, you need that for Thanos. He's big, he's big and bulky, and you just got to get him with all that power. So I think that's my team. That's my top 5, and I think that's pretty hardcore because
That is pretty hardcore. That's funny because a lot of those choices
Uh-huh.
are very kind of similar to the ones that I have.
Okay. I'm interested to hear what you.
But I don't have any smart guy on my team.
I at least chose at
kinda
least
bummed
one
out.
like
Yeah.
Elon Musk and like.
Kind of bummed out about that. I didn't go that route. I kind of just picked a bunch of like manly men.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. So how many did you pick? 5?
I chose 5.
5. Okay.
That's what you asked for, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see what I had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6. So I'll go down the line.
Okay.
So my team starts off with a very similar to your last choice. He is actually the best Muay Thai fighter on the planet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Tony Jaa.
Oh, Tony Jaa.
Tony Jaa, Mr. Ong Bak himself. I haven't seen him in a little while, but Ong Bak himself.
That was such a good movie because,
Yeah.
like, oh my
Did
god.
you remember that one scene where he was just like going up the stairs and just
Yeah.
like annihilating
No, the
people?
thing, what that was dope. And then at the end, where he like literally jumps in the
off the
sky of the
elephant?
highest part and then grabs his knees and pulls them
Oh
back
my
to go
God,
into the
yeah.
guy. I'm like, that's
Those-
where it's like finish him.
Yeah,
and
there
it's
was
like,
this one scene too where he was like, he jumps off an elephant
yes,
and smacks somebody in the face with his
Yo.
foot.
that's it.
So Tony Jaa will come out the gate throwing elbows and knees at people.
Outside
So,
of Jackie Chan's stunts, I have to say like that movie was like
yo,
amazing.
legit.
Yeah,
I think there's 3 of them.
yeah. There's 3.
It's just like,
I didn't see the third though.
I don't think I have either. But let me see. My second choice would be Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal now is just like, god damn it.
No, Steven Seagal back in the day.
Gotcha.
Steven Seagal back in the day.
Snapping necks and elbows backwards.
Because I know recently he's had a couple like bad roles. Not that he had ever had really good roles, but my reasoning for picking him.
No shade.
My reasoning for picking him is because I've never seen him get his ass whooped
True.
back in the day.
You know what somebody pointed out, like on social media, that had me dying is that they said Steven Seagal looks like one of the Bond like Soviet enemies.
I know exactly what you're talking
You know what I was
about.
talking about? I was
And
like
with
from
the-
GoldenEye video
the
game.
handlebar
Yeah,
mustache.
I was
I know
like,
exactly what you're talking about.
good evening, Mr. Bond.
So I have Steven Seagal because he's invincible.
Nice.
Let me see. My next pick would be Mike Tyson in his prime.
Mike Tyson's crazy.
'Cause-
Like
yeah.
even Thanos can't
Mhm.
handle
Because
that.
you always have to have that wild card on the team.
If that I was honestly, my third choice before I chose like the guy from Iceland, I was like, all right, maybe we're going with Mike Tyson and we're gonna piss him off real bad.
Mm-hmm. So Mike Tyson is my wild card. He's that guy that acts crazier than anybody else on the opposite team.
I can't
which
go
will scare
against that.
anybody. So
Yep.
my next guy is one of my favorite action heroes of all time.
I thought you were just gonna like end up saying like, "Oh, it's Hitler." No,
No.
it's horrible.
One of my favorite action heroes of all time, your spirit animal from a few episodes
Oh
ago,
no,
was
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude fucking Van Damme.
What is he gonna dance them to death?
No, he's gonna split everywhere.
Yeah. Is he
He's
gonna come?
do splits everywhere?
Is he gonna come in with those? What was that movie where he had like the Oakley yellow glasses?
Is it Time Cop?
Was it Time Cop?
Is that the one where he like travels time?
Yeah, but like he's like at the end, like he dies or something like that. I think it was Time. He had yellow glasses. What was that movie?
That up.
As you're explaining, I'm gonna look it up.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme, I've never seen anybody split
Honestly, I think this is your man like celebrity crush.
a man crush Monday
Yeah,
list.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is like your whole man crush Monday list because like
JCVD, that's my dude.
you bring up Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's
like,
my guy, man. Like when you think about like action movies, even though a lot of his movies are very similar, like Bloodsport is exactly like what was that other movie that's just like it? Where he does like all this training in the beginning. He loses a friend, so he has to avenge his friend, or his friend gets hurt and he has to like go into like this Mortal Kombat style like competition. And yeah, man, I've never seen anybody kick a fucking bamboo tree down. Or a coconut tree.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I gotta say, he's just like,
and those dance moves.
Moves.
Those
That's what's gonna distract Thanos.
It's gonna hypnotize everybody. So there goes Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now my next one is actually one of my other favorite action heroes of all time, and he's also invincible. Mr. Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis.
Die Hard Bruce Willis?
Die Hard Bruce Willis.
Oh my god.
Die Hard Bruce Willis is invincible. Like this guy walks over glass with bare feet.
It's kind of true
He
though.
jumps out of a moving helicopter. He shot a car into a helicopter in one of the movies, and he rolls out of danger unscathed.
I can't.
He'll have like a couple like black marks from like fucking motor oil or something.
That's it.
And
he's always in like a guinea tea.
Always. And he jumps out of a window. He ties like a fire hose around his waist and smashes through windows like a fucking, I don't know. But Bruce Willis is my guy.
Damn.
And last but not least, my other wild card. And I think your significant other will like this choice.
Oh no.
The rattlesnake himself.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
God damn it.
Because I can picture him now. He can punch a couple aliens in the face, smash a couple beers, and just like drink them and go, oh, hell yeah.
He's like, do you want more, Thanos? And you're like, no.
He's the toughest motherfucker on the planet.
God damn it.
He wrestled with 2 bad knees.
Stones versus 3. Literally Stone Cold for the Stones of the universe.
Yo.
316.
Boom.
Shit is going down.
That's it.
Damn.
So that wraps up my super team right
You know
there.
what? I'm not mad. And if we brought both of those teams together, you know what I'm saying?
You still have your list?
Yeah.
I accidentally deleted my list.
No, I definitely have my list.
I'm going to send me your list
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to put a poll.
Oh my god!
And be like,
I have to write out the names. I mean, I did like I snap pictures.
Yeah, snap pictures of everyone and then send me the names and then send them over to me.
Gotcha.
And then I'm gonna put a poll.
No, definitely.
And then I'll make like a little promo video, see which team people will prefer.
That was definitely fun.
So those are our 2 super teams. Yeah. So, I hope that Avengers is what I've been reading it is as far as hype.
If you have to go out with a bang over, like, if you consider the whole Marvel universe like not like a trilogy, because that's trilogy is 3, but I'm saying if you're seeing it as a whole like disc set, you got to go out with a bang. Like if you're watching like Thor or you're watching Iron Man or the Spider-Man movies in between, or like again Doctor Strange, like at the end of all this chaos, you have to go out with a bang. I'm talking about even from a technical aspect, like the special effects have to be crazy. The concept of the special effects have to be crazy. And I think that they did that in the last movie. So if they take that and double it, I'll be happy.
Boom.
Oh, what? Civil War, right?
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Mhm.
Infinity War was like amazing in the way that they balance the action and the story.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do like the same thing,
I read one thing where it was like it's a perfect balance of humor, tears,
Uh-huh.
sad and happy tears,
Uh-huh.
action, and just fun.
That's good.
So
That's good.
the initial reviews are out, and Rotten Tomatoes had it like at 95.
Mm-hmm.
IGN I think gave it a 9.5.
Question: did War
Mhm.
Machine dissipate?
No, he's still with the original crew.
All right, dope.
But yeah, man. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. Should be fun. We have a crew of like 10 people going.
Nice.
So it should be a good time.
Yeah.
So I guess let's wrap this up with the gallery.
Oh, we're doing a gallery. Nice.
Of course, man. We gotta do
Okay.
gallery every single time, bro.
Gotcha.
So I'm guessing you don't have anybody.
No, it's not that.
Mhm.
I actually had a couple people in mind, but I will let you go first this week.
Okay. So the first person I want to shout out is a gentleman that I actually bought pieces from last week. I think I showed you the stickers that I bought.
Okay.
It's
I like how the colors of the prints came out.
So
Super
it's
dope.
an artist by the name of Alex MDC. Now you may, if you look him up, you may be familiar with his style of artistry
Mhm.
because he did a lot of 6ix9ine stuff before he went in. So he did a lot of the covers. I think of the last couple of covers right before he went in.
That's super fresh.
He made that little character of him with the little super soaker
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
He did that, and yeah, he's a really dope artist. He does little sculptures, little statues of his own little characters. He does this set of what he calls I think he called them reveals or something
Okay.
like that. Let me just look that up real quick so I can get that correct. So it is Alex MDC, Alex Solis. So he's one of us,
Nice.
one of me.
One of you.
He has this series called the Unmasked series, where he has two artists that are similar in somehow, some way, and he'll have one taking the head off, revealing the other one. For example, one of them that he has that I got the sticker of was one of the Night King from Game of Thrones taking his head off, revealing to be Elsa from Frozen.
Okay.
Another one was Bulbasaur or I think it was Blastoise. So Blastoise, the Pokemon, taking his head off, revealing to be Bowser from Super Mario.
That's
so
fresh.
I thought that was really dope concept.
I guess he's taking into consideration like the body shapes of these, or like the type of
Well, somewhat, because the one that he posted on his Instagram recently, and I'll show that really quick. It's actually Godzilla. If you guys can see that, I won't be able to see it on the screen, but hopefully that focuses. If not, I'll do it on this camera. Focus. There it is. So it's Godzilla taking its head off, revealing to be Yoshi. So obviously there's a thing there. So he's really dope. So check him out. I'll put his name right over here, Alex MDC. The next shout out I want to give is to a gentleman by the name of Antonetti. Oh, damn, I almost messed up his name. Antonetti Ledesma. Antonetti Ledesma is a gentleman that I met through work.
Okay.
Now, he started off doing the same work I do, working with kids, mentoring, behavior assistant, and stuff like that. So he actually started his own agency by the name of Heroes in the Field.
Interesting.
Now, he has these workers, and he has like these main workers, and then they have like a superhero that they
emulate
and relate to. So he goes by the name of Ant-Man.
That's dope.
So Heroes in the Field is just a group of like-minded individuals working in the community to help the kids that are in need. They have a list of behavior assistants, mentors, and therapists working out there in the community with the kids.
Nice.
They work together with other community resources and community groups to throw events And just for the neighborhoods that need it, a little positivity and a little motivation. Those guys are out there making a difference in the world. So shout out to them. I'll put their names here so you can follow their Instagrams because they're definitely doing something big in your neighborhood. They work in several counties. I know they're in Passaic County, always doing stuff in Passaic and Patterson and stuff. So, but they're all over the place. So shout them out. Not shout them out. Give them a follow real quick and tell them that we sent you. And the last one I was gonna shout out in the last episode, but I didn't know the full Instagram name. So the other Calcaño sister, Carolyn, has a photo booth business. So she has Calcano photo booth _ events.
Nice.
So she has a photo booth that she has at your disposal, obviously for a rate.
Okay.
And you can use it for your events. She has really cool prints available.
Nice.
On the spot. And like we mentioned in the last episode, the sisters are very ambitious girls, and they're they're big supporters of us and what we do. So the least we can do is
give them a shout right back,
and always support them in everything that they do, and just show appreciation for the love that they always showed us. So
definitely
follow them, give them a follow. If you're looking for a photo booth, holla at her. Rates are good. Sometimes she'll put for like a discount rate, so make sure you catch her on those days. And tell her that we sent you.
That's dope.
Give us a referral code.
Yes.
So we can get a discount for a photo booth. So that wraps up mine. I know it's a little quick, but we're just trying to wrap up this episode because it's going a little longer than usual. But
I got two people real quick.
Go for it.
One, we've been following each other for a really long time. She's a female that kind of like does everything that we do in her own world and realm of just what she does, and I think she needs to be acknowledged. And this is on Instagram. You guys might not know her as Sunzi, but I know her as Asia, and Asia has always been a very big supporter of ours and just like a awesome human being in general. So she's into the cosplay world. She has a podcast called, I know the first one, I think it's, maybe they kept the same name. I think it's Geek and Chill, something like that. So she has a podcast, and they speak upon.
It is Geek and Chill.
It's Geek and Chill. See, it stuck with me. So it's one of those podcasts where they speak more on the movies within like the comic book realm, or just like animes and all these other things. Like they love to nerd out, talk about upcoming video games and stuff like that. And on top of that, I don't know if she's really putting it out there like that yet, but she's working on her artistry as a female rapper that, she speaks more on the cosplay world, or she uses a lot of punchlines that are from,
the geeky
nerdy world. So like she's doing her thing. Sometimes she keeps her stuff on the low because she's still building, but she
was supposed to send me a sample, which I'm still waiting for, by the way.
She's a
friendly reminder.
She's a Renaissance woman, like we are like Renaissance men, and I really respect her artistry. Like she's created some costumes over the years that I'm always like in awe of, because just the people who attend like, Comic-Con and stuff, like they put so much time, work, and energy into those costumes, and you guys should be acknowledged because you're actually true artists. So that, and I want to give another shout out because he actually was helping family in a time of need. Eats by Dre. Eats by Dre needs a big shout out.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, man. Like Eats by Dre, one, is a very, very cool guy, and he is a great chef at what he does, and he incorporates his specialty, of how he spices up his food, and he's helping people, including himself. He's very passionate about what he does. He's very meticulous, and I just want to give him a shout out. I met him, I think, like once, in the past, but I've spoken to
Mhm.
him many times,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always come through
Mhm.
on 100% of the quality
Mhm.
and everything like
Mhm.
that. So guys,
He's one of a few people that I've met off Twitter.
yeah, no, he's like, he's just such a cool guy, and like he
Mhm.
really believes in what he does. He's a
Mhm.
he's a great chef in the way that he's bringing together two different worlds.
Mhm.
And just look him up, and the rest will be explanatory.
Yeah, man.
So
And he does these treats for you guys, if you guys know what I'm saying.
yeah, you know
He'll
what I'm
hook
saying.
you guys up. Tell him that we sent you
Yes.
so he could give us discounts.
So look out for all these great artists per
Yeah,
usual.
man.
That's the gallery. I hope you guys enjoyed your session with us today. Hope
Mhm.
it was insightful.
Yes, sir.
Hope it's inspiring.
Yeah, remember to follow everybody that we mentioned. A follow goes a mile. Yeah, so that was episode 14 for you guys. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Again, make sure to go on Apple Music, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Also go on Spotify, give us a follow, even if that's not your main source of listening to this podcast. It just looks good for us numbers wise. And also YouTube. We're trying to build up the YouTube channel, so make sure to give us a view, give us a like, give us a comment. Make sure you turn on those notifications as well, so you can get the latest releases as they go up. So thank you once again.
Yes.
And
tune
love
in,
you guys.
And tune in next time as the story unfolds. Everything that we were talking about, hopefully we have better news each time this podcast comes on.
So we'll give you an update. Hopefully we could give you more information next time. That wraps it up, guys. Thank you for joining us. And as usual,
let's hit them with the intro, with the outro.
Bam!